How a poor small child turns into a luxury car owner. Let's see.
On a stormy November night in 1985, as rain hammered down on the forgotten streets of Detroit, a story began that would defy every odds stacked against it. In a shack where water dripped through holes in the roof and pooled on the dirt floor, Elena held her newborn son for the first time. There was no hospital, no doctor, just desperate hope that this child would somehow escape the poverty that surrounded them. His name was Marcus, and as his first cry pierced through the sound of the storm, nobody could have imagined the incredible journey that lay ahead. This was Marcus's world, a neighborhood where dreams came to die, where broken streets matched broken promises, and where survival was the only victory most people ever knew. Young Marcus grew up with nothing. While other children played with toys, he made games out of bottle caps and sticks. While his mother's hands bled from washing other people's clothes, he learned what sacrifice really meant. His father, James, worked from sunrise, lifting heavy loads on construction sites, his body breaking down with every passing year. But one job wasn't enough. At night, James would wash dishes in restaurant kitchens, his hands raw from scalding water and harsh chemicals. And when others slept, he cleaned office buildings until dawn, pushing his body beyond what anyone should endure, all for a family he loved more than his own life. Elena worked too, mending clothes by candlelight while Marcus slept, her fingers bleeding but never stopping, because giving up was never an option. There were nights when dinner was nothing more than bread soaked in water with a sprinkle of salt, nights when hunger was just another part of life. School should have been Marcus's escape, but even there, poverty followed him like a shadow. His shoes were held together with duct tape, his clothes patched so many times they barely held together. In the cafeteria, while other kids ate lunch and laughed with friends, Marcus sat alone at an empty table, invisible to everyone except those who wanted someone to mock. But Marcus had something that poverty couldn't touch, an unbreakable hunger to learn, to understand, to become something more than his circumstances. He devoured every book in the school library, reading about people who had risen from nothing, studying their paths like maps to a better life. Then, when Marcus was 12 years old, everything got worse. A falling beam crushed his father's leg on a construction site, and in an instant, their fragile stability shattered completely. Work. Elena's health deteriorated under the stress. Marcus watched his parents age decades in mere months, and something inside him hardened into steel. In that moment, looking at his broken father and exhausted mother, Marcus made a promise. He would find a way out, not just for himself, but for all of them. At 13 years old, when most kids worried about homework and friendships, Marcus became a man. He lied about his age and got a job at a corner store. The owner, Mr. Chen, had immigrated to America with nothing himself. He saw something familiar in Marcus's eyes, a determination that reminded him of his own journey. Marcus worked before school, stocking shelves while the city still slept, learning that success wasn't about luck, it was about showing up when no one else would. After school, he swept floors and cleaned, but more importantly, he learned. Mr. Chen taught him about business, about managing money, about building something from nothing. Every lesson was gold to Marcus. He absorbed everything, treating this corner store like his personal business school, because he understood that knowledge was the only inheritance he would ever receive. Late at night, while everyone else slept, Marcus studied. College applications, scholarship forms, financial aid documents, each one was a ticket to a different life. His teachers noticed his potential. They helped him apply to universities, believing in him when he barely believed in himself. The day the acceptance letters arrived, Marcus's hands shook as he opened each envelope. Full scholarships, financial aid, a real chance. His parents held him as they all cried together, tears of joy mixing with tears of relief, knowing that their son had achieved what seemed impossible. Walking onto that college campus for the first time felt surreal. Marcus carried everything he owned in a single duffel bag, wearing thrift store clothes, surrounded by students whose parents drove luxury cars. While others partied, Marcus studied. While they slept, he worked. Business and finance consumed him because he knew this was his one shot at transformation. He worked as a resident advisor, tutored other students for extra money, saved every dollar, and networked with.
He graduated and entered the world of high finance, working 100-hour weeks on trading floors, learning everything about markets, investments, and wealth creation. Within 3 years, he became one of the top performers at his firm, not because it was easy, but because giving up had never been an option. He invested everything, $200,000 scraped together from years of brutal saving. For 6 months, it looked like they were right. The startup struggled. Marcus barely slept, terrified he had gambled away his only chance at security. Then, everything changed. The company's product exploded in popularity. Within a year, they went public, and Marcus's investment skyrocketed. $20 million. Marcus sat in his small apartment, staring at the screen, unable to believe what he was seeing. The boy who once ate bread soaked in water was now a millionaire. He called his parents immediately, tears streaming down his face, and told them they would never worry about money again. But Marcus didn't stop. He started his own investment fund, using the same instincts that had saved him, identifying opportunities others overlooked. His reputation grew. Within 5 years, his fund managed over $1 billion. Marcus had become the success story people whispered about in awe. He established scholarships for kids from impoverished backgrounds, creating opportunities for children like he had been, because he never forgot where he came from. At 35, after a particularly successful year, Marcus decided it was time. He walked into a Rolls-Royce showroom in Manhattan, ready to claim a symbol that had haunted his dreams since childhood. He had seen his first Rolls-Royce as a boy in Detroit, gliding through the streets like a spaceship. To him, it represented more than luxury. It represented having truly made it. Marcus chose the Phantom, the flagship model, in midnight blue with cream leather interior. He customized every detail, from the starlight headliner to personalized embroidery. The day he picked up the car, Marcus walked around it slowly, touching the flawless paint, the spirit of ecstasy ornament, hardly believing this moment was real. Sitting in the driver's seat for the first time, running his hands over polished wood and supple leather, Marcus wept. He thought about that leaking shack, his father's broken body, his mother's bleeding fingers, the hunger, the humiliation, every moment of doubt. He drove straight to Detroit,